What's going on, y'all? I know I look a hot damn mess. I haven't popped y'all into the screen yet. I look a hot damn mess. But that's okay. I'm being ghetto. I'm showing y'all my ghetto side tonight. Let's bring in Pretty Ricky here. Oh, I popped you in and took you out, Rick. We're gonna add in Mardae. Okay, first of all, let me take a deep breath. Because when I say Tiger has wore me out, and I'm so tired from dealing with my baby.
I started to come over here and get him. I'm like, shit, she over there mistreating him.
Tiger mistreating himself.
Man.
I came upstairs this morning because you know he had on his little special helmet. Brittany said he looked like he was about to catch the special bus go to school. So he had on his special little helmet.
It looks interesting.
Yes, and so what he did was he figured out that if he shook his head hard enough, he could get it to shift and he could get his ears out. And so this morning when I came up, both ears were out. The bandage is gone, which I'm assuming he ate. The bandage is gone. Then he jumps up when I come upstairs and he shakes his head. Blood starts gushing out the ear. And I'm like, oh, well, Jesus. So back to the vet we go. They had to put him down because when I say it was 3 techs, the doctor plus me trying to fool with his ear, and every time she would touch the ear, he was like, I ain't going. We ain't doing it. So she was like, we're gonna have to sedate him. I hate it. We're gonna have to put him down. She was like, but I will let you stay. But she was like, I can tell the difference in him between when you're here with him and when you're not here with him. So she was like, we're gonna sedate him, but I'm gonna let you stay in the room and literally like you do humans.
Yeah.
They gave him his sedation, turned the lights off.
Yeah.
I got in the flow with him and I was like, okay, let's just calm on down until he relaxed on down and went under. Took 3 people to pick his big ass up, take him back there. Because he was gone by then. And she was like, I got the medicine to reverse him, Mama. She was like, as soon as I'm done, I'll reverse the sedation and let you come back and get him. She was like, I'm not going to keep him till 4 or 5 o'clock. And I was like, okay, good. She was like, because I could tell last time you was nervous. I said, yeah, I was. Yeah, I got my baby. I need my baby back. So, woosah, because Tiger has wore me out with this ear.
Yeah. On this Vincent Van Gogh sway.
And we ain't even done yet. So we still got to go back and get the stitches out. Now they want me to keep him on trazodone for 5 days. They want me to keep him like relaxed for 5 days so that he doesn't until he come back and get those sutures out. So
look, he go.
Let me tell you, Tiger on drugs is so funny. He just stands there. And you can see his little legs, his hind legs is buckling like he But I'd be like, sit down, Tiger, sit down. Like, why you not sitting down? Why are you standing there? Why are you looking
On the
crazy?
moon.
He gone.
On
He
the
is
moon,
zooted.
yeah.
He is gone. And he just standing there like, and so I have to force him to lay your ass down before you fall down. Like, dude, yeah. So, but anyway, how has your week been, Rick? Because I ain't seen you in a minute. Well, I ain't seen you in a week.
Well, shit, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it is.
This week's been all right, man. Work's been crazy. Oh,
Have I told you I like orange on you?
hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Orange make me look good in the motherfucker.
It does.
Hey, and that's the only color I say that in.
It
Motherfucker,
really
orange
does.
on. I be in this motherfucker. I'm pretty real for real.
Yeah, orange. I like orange on you. Yes, I was just sitting here. You know how sometimes, damn, that orange look good on Rick.
So when you see me with orange on,
You feeling yourself?
yeah, you be like, see, he know he wrong. You know I'm out there being crazy. When I got my orange on, so if you see me with orange on, be like,
time.
yeah.
I'm like that in my red. Red is my color. I'm always in red. Somebody asked, it was like, is that your favorite color? Oh, absolutely. Duh. I'm always in red. Always in red. And welcome to the show, Mardae. Well, I'm so glad that you have joined us this evening. How has your week been?
It has been interesting. That is the word I'm going to use. It's been interesting.
But see, now when you say interesting, that makes me want to dig into it, find out what happened.
Well, I mean, we already know the big hit that Nashville took with the homie county. So dealing with that, and at the same time, putting together the Pawnee Kings Men's Health Program.
Okay.
And I've just been working around the clock with that. So it's a bittersweet thing, right? Dealing with the issue that we have on hand with him. But at the same time, it's like, okay, but we are making steps to make sure that doesn't happen again. So that's the main thing. So it's been it's been an ebb and flow type of week. You know, he wasn't in my immediate nucleus circle, but close enough to where it hit.
Yeah,
home.
It hit home.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that hit home to a lot of people.
Yeah. So like that's what I've been dealing with this week. But I'm really leaning into finding the yin and yang and everything. You know what I mean?
You gotta have your balance.
Because
that is true.
Because if you don't, it's just real easy, and we'll probably talk about it later, that perception that you take, you want to go down that darker path and just say, hey, the world is this and that. You know, that's not that productive. Instead of being solution based, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How you view it is based on your perspective. If you got a negative perspective, then you have a rough time. If you got a positive perspective, oh, okay, but I can figure this out. I can make this into a positive. Mm-hmm. It's all about how you look at life.
Right.
Sometimes people it's easier to focus on the negative than it is on the positive. Right. And I think that's because here lately there's so much negative in the world now. Mm-hmm. that really you just automatically you can't help but to go to the negative because it seems like folks done lost their ever loving damn minds in the world. Right. But however, I refuse to allow it to get me down, and I want to stay positive. And we got Father's Day coming up, which was why I had you come on. I think it is a great segue into the program that you're developing. Trying to get our fathers out there good and healthy. Because let me tell you, my son-in-law right now, even though he's young, is struggling with cardiac disease, which is hereditary in his family. Okay. And I think Terrio is he 39? I think he's either 38 or 39. And he's already had 3 stents placed. And we're looking that he's about to go back and have another stent placed.
That's heavy.
They're trying to avoid doing open heart on him. And so that's why I'm like, this is perfect. Father's Day coming up. We need to talk about men's health. Because from a female perspective, I'm going to say this. Of the men that I typically have in my world, I find that men don't always want to go to the doctor. Y'all work until something happened that you can't work, then that's when you go and you like, okay, well, something wrong because now I can't work. Now I gotta go find out what's wrong.
I have to tell you, I'm totally different than that.
You're a doctor.
Even though I don't like to go to the doctor, I really have to go to the doctor because hey, I always got to check my liver and kidney function. It used to be every 3 months, now it's every 6 months.
Okay.
So I don't. That's one thing I don't play about. I don't, and I guess I can start into Mardae. Mardae is the reason I'm where I am now because hey, without him.
I remember I used to see y'all at the gym early in the morning. Yes, I used to see y'all at the gym, be up in there. Even though I be in my own little world when I be in the gym.
Because Kel, she said, you got to come see my trainer. You got to meet him. I was like, man, I don't want no dude training me. And I didn't. I was like, no, dog. So she stayed on me. She said, I'm telling you, he's the best one out there. You got to
remember that.
And it was unorthodox. I will say that.
He is definitely.
So you got me
unorthodox training stuff.
You got me lifting a load, and I got to do what?
Yeah.
And make sure you hold your leg this way, now go down. I'm like, he trying to break my back.
But you survived.
I stuck with him, and I trusted the process. And I mean, I owe him for a lot because I wouldn't be in shape right now.
You know what? That's what I love about personal trainers. They push you past what you think that you're capable of doing. Yeah. And that's why I always love working out with a trainer because they'll push you further than your mind. Because if you're doing it yourself, you can be like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to stop. But the trainer be like, no, give me 5 more. You be like, what? Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
The ego killers. Ego killers. And honestly, please understand that us trainers, we get trained too.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of people don't really factor in. I have a trainer. My trainer actually is Master Wood is 83 years old. That's my trainer, man. It's OG is the new term. Yeah, that's him. He's my Tai Chi instructor. And I got him for that same reason. I know I can dive into Tai Chi and learn how to do meditation. Actually, I was doing that in high school. But somebody to hold you accountable and somebody that's already at the position where you want to be, it's just wise to just have somebody to segue and to pull you along. You know what I mean? No matter what it is. So.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I had to turn the fan on. First of all, y'all, look, I'm in here looking ghetto. And I know everybody, let me just say this because I know everybody watching is like, why the hell does she have on that sweater hat on her head in the middle of goddamn summer? This cap. But let me tell you, I twisted up my hair because I'm trying to be cute for tomorrow. And it don't look real cute right now. And I was going to put a wrap on it, couldn't find the wrap that I was going to use. And I said, fuck it. I'm going to put my red wine conversation hat on. And if people don't like it, oh well. Y'all check me tomorrow and see how cute my hair is. Hopefully it'll turn out right. I mean, why I'm saying that. Then I'll be mad it didn't turn out right. But hopefully it'll turn out right. And I'm trying to be cute for Sissy Brown brunch tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can't forget.
If it don't work out, you can go and get you one of me and Rick's.
No. See, you know what? The best part about having naturally curly hair is, if the style don't work, all you gotta do is get in the shower and wash your hair.
That's it.
Yes, and I just come out with my natural curls and go about my business. But hopefully, this twist out that I did is going to work and it's going to be cute in the morning. But we will see, because I'm trying to be cute at brunch. I finally, because I said I'm so stressed, I'm so tired. I need some fun and relaxation. Yeah. I'm going to get my ticket. I'm going to the brunch. Chill, hang out, and say hey with the ladies. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. But tell us about your men's program, because Rick was saying about getting into the group. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the program that you developed for us.
So
since it's Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, so real quick, it's called Mardae King program. And pawns. Like a pawn, like a chess. The chess.
Oh, pawn. Okay.
To king.
Oh, okay.
So most people that know about chess, the pawn is considered the foot soldier, if you will, and the lowest point value piece, but at the same time, that's the only piece that can become anything else. Right. And with this program, we're going to be making moves to get to the other side of the board.
Okay.
You know, and people that play chess, you know, as you get into the middle of the board, that's when you get into the heat of the battle. And so this is not an easy process, and that's kind of why I wanted to form that. I wanted to come up with a project name to where people can kind of see what it's going to entail. So yeah, you're gonna start as an humble pawn, and each month we're gonna work on a different thing. And every 7 months we're gonna get into our king status.
Okay.
You know, so we work through each piece. You know, we just started off this month, working on the workouts, working on meditation. So the program is actually a book that I wrote 10 years ago. It's a book that I wrote 10 years ago when I started Solar Fitness, and it started off as a 30-day challenge. 30-day challenge, you might remember those packets. Yeah. So with the packets, because honestly, this was my healing. This is something that I had to do because that's why we're having to talk now. There wasn't that many resources for us men
I can agree
to heal from a masculine standpoint. And so I needed to get my stuff together, and like I was realizing that I wasn't liking the days that I was having. And when I was writing down what I was liking, what I wasn't liking, it really were things that would dictate if it was a bad day or not. So what I started doing is like, okay, what are things in my life that I can control? You know, control the controllables. Mm-hmm. I can control if I did something mentally today, you know, reading something uplifting. I can do something spiritually. Did I invest in myself spiritually? You know, did I do my daily devotion? Did I rest today? Did I exercise today? How's my diet? And that turned into an acronym. So if you look, that was MSRED. So I turned that into an acronym. Mm-hmm. And I started scoring myself on that. So if the diet was whack that day, I would, but I did everything else. Out of that 5, I would write a 4 on the calendar.
Okay.
You know, if I just did one of the things, is me being transparent with myself, I write a 1. And so I go back each week to kind of look at the scoreboard. I'm an athlete, so I can resonate with that. Let me look and see where I'm lacking and slacking. And so I turned that into, you know, it was working out for me. And then some of the people, my peers, were like, okay, what are you doing? Because they would see me meditating. What do you say? Okay, so I'm doing this. And I slowly turned that into a book. But again, that was 10 years ago. And ain't nobody really, you know, trying to do no online training 10 years ago. I can go get me a personal trainer. Like, I hear what you're saying, Dave.
Times are definitely
right, Dave, I know what you know, I'm pretty sure it'd be dope, but I'd rather go and do this. But COVID hit, and then we had to go back
COVID
digital.
Changed the world.
And so I picked that program back up, and now dealing with some things that we might get to it later that I was going through in Atlanta, and dealing with some post-traumatic stress disorder from that situation. I picked that program back up, and now I was just like, you know what? Maybe I'm not the only one that needs this.
That's true.
You know, and so I just put it out there. And let me just say, I am just the guy on the soapbox of Ponder King. I don't even want to say that I'm the founder or nothing like that, because this is a round table of men that have skill sets. And I'm not the only one that's going to be, I'm not going to be a Martin Luther King. I see what happens with that when you're just the only person up there. You know, once they get shot down and shut up, then the movement stops. Mm-hmm. We ain't doing that.
So you have other partners that come in and talk about
everybody. You know, everybody has a niche to where they can do some things.
Absolutely, I always play to everybody's greatest strength.
Right. So that's what we got. We got some lawyers on board. We got a couple of mental therapists, certified therapists on board to talk to. You know, if we need to go out and talk to somebody on. You know, just about some type of mental, you just want to think. We have some people that can professionally help you versus.
I think that's a good thing for men, because men don't always feel like they have a safe space to vent and talk about how they feel, because women typically be like, you in your feelings, like they ain't you ain't supposed to be in your feelings because you're a man, and that's not true.
Not even women. Look at what happened. I mean,
men probably do it more worse than
I just think it's even. We probably display it differently. But look at the people we find great, right? Michael Jordan, right? if MJ would kick any of our phones and say, hey, you want to come kick it with me today? Oh hell yeah, right. But when he cries and he's a human and he's not a basketball player,
he becomes a meme.
He's a damn meme.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How about Kanye?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We always talk about we want people to keep it 100, but what if he say something that you don't agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he crazy.
Yeah.
What about Tyrese? You know what I mean?
He's very emotional.
He mixes but all of us are when it comes to our kids.
Yeah.
When it comes to our kids, we can't show it into the society because look,
yeah.
Who the hell want to be a meme?
Yeah.
Full of tears, you know what I'm saying? Who want to do that? So it subconsciously gets into us men. Like, I mean,
you're not allowed
this
to
is
show
MJ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the GOAT. And if he can't show tears, then like, yo, and it's cool for other coaches to do it.
Yeah.
If it was a white male in Bellevue somewhere, you know, just balling out crying.
I can agree with you on that.
Somebody, hey man, what's going on?
It's something about black men, and y'all are supposed to always be a pillar of strength. You're not allowed to show weakness, and that is 100% wrong. Yeah.
You know, and it's just one of those things that became quietly acceptable, and it's just kind of, you know, slowly just gone too far to the left because us black men, we do have an asterisk beside our plight. We've gone through a different plight than anybody else.
Agreed.
So it's hard because nobody has seen the plight of the black man before ever in life, especially a transatlantic slave trade. So it's like, what do we do? Same thing with you women. Mm-hmm. But right now I'm gonna stay in the male capacity. Like,
don't get me on my soapbox about this. I ain't gonna get on my soapbox.
But this is the first time like the human race has seen the dynamic that we go through.
It is more in the forefront now. I can believe. I can give you that. Here's my struggle with it though. I do agree that finally the plight of the black male is on the forefront, and people are striving to make that change. I just don't think that change is coming quick enough.
Right, and that's why I'm getting at, because we've never seen this before.
Yeah, it's not coming. Yeah.
You know,
there's so many barriers to get over.
Out of 500, the Earth has been around for thousands. We're talking about 400 or 500 years of Earth's history that this has happened. Like, because of your color, you can get burned, hanged, and all of this other stuff. Like, cavemen, they wasn't doing that back in the earlier parts of history. So we're just now embarking on this. So we like, okay, we see the problem. The problems happened so long ago. Now it's like, okay, what the hell do we do though? Because again, this is something that has not occurred before. You know what I mean?
I can agree with that. I have a flip side perspective of that, but I'm gonna save it because I really want to get deeper into your program.
Okay.
Because it'll take us on a whole nother branch. Because I got another flip side of it.
Okay.
But what else can they expect? What all can they expect from the program? Because I like that it not only is going to touch physically, but it also is touching mentally,
right?
In those type of things.
So it's a cipher. I'm just the kid that's on the soapbox. It's like, hey man, why don't we get together and figure this out? Since there's nobody else that has the same energy towards it to help us than us. You know what I mean? I reached out to a couple of females because I was seeing those retreats. And I'm like, I need some of that. And they were like, brother, this is, I understand what you're going through, but this is for the sisters. And so after a while,
our sisters will come together now.
Yeah, and and that's cool. And it was a fork in the road to where it was like, okay,
but what about us?
Because you're a healer, right? Because feel this, you go to the doctor who's talking about the doctor. What did the doctor say? I only deal with blondes.
Yeah.
You ain't no damn doctor. You heal the sick.
Yeah.
It ain't got no color, you heal the sick. That is your creed. That's like a lawyer. Hey man, I only deal with left-handed people. No, you see what I'm saying?
You should be open to all.
You can't do that. So that's how it hit me, because you say you're a healer. Now, if you're a feminine healer and that's what you label yourself as, then that's fine. The same as I am a left-hand doctor. I mean, I'm a left-hand lawyer. I deal with people with left. Okay, well, cool. I'm right here. I can't. All right, I already know where I stand. But it hit different And I'm not saying that to knock the sisters. I'm just saying that's just the situation I caught myself into.
I can agree with that.
And it was a fork in the road. Do I get upset and call them charlatans and all this other stuff? Or is this an avenue that I need to
go
peek
down
into because this is something I want to do anyway?
And I think it's needed. Hey, Aesthetic Love, she joined us. I think it 100% is needed because I see the struggle that Black men go through. I kind of view Black men a little. I love my Black men. I really do. I love y'all. Like I'm not even interested in any other. I'm not like I can find other races of men. Like I can say, oh, he look good, yeah. But I don't physically. I'm not attracted to. I'm only attracted to my brothers, and I 100% see that struggle. And so I think that this program is something that's most definitely needed. And I love the fact that it focuses on the whole person as opposed to just one aspect. Because I'm sure most people kind of look at you and say, oh, he's a personal trainer. All he want to do is talk about working out, as opposed to, no, let's talk about meditation. Let's talk about your spirit. Let's talk about your mindset. Let's talk about where you are in life.
But he's always been like that.
He has.
Right.
I mean, you would think, who's this tatted up dude with all these muscles and stuff? No, and he over there talking about, hey, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna meditate for 5 minutes. We're gonna woo-saw. And I'm like, we're gonna do what?
Yeah, I like a good. You know what? I like meditation. I do enjoy
some of the music that we used to listen to. I still got it on my phone.
I don't know. I was always scared to work out with Mardae. I came and I talked to him one time. He's so unorthodox. I was like, I don't know about that.
Thanks for being transparent because a lot of people want to say it, they just don't know how to say it.
Oh no, you know what you are. You know what I am. You always
know what's up. I know what's up.
I was like,
but I love it though because
you can't like that. I'd be like, you're trying to kill me now. Get what you trained.
But it's the things that we always say: to get what you got to do things you ain't done. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so that's what I want. That's how I train as an athlete. I had to be beyond the fastest person. I had to be beyond the strongest person. I wanted something more. I felt like there was something that I could tap into that other people couldn't. And my grandmother, she got her doctorate in metaphysics, so I would like steal her books that was written by Jewel Pooper and Phil Valentine, your metaphysics leader. So I'm looking at how to hypnotize yourself. I'm looking at that at age 10. I'm like, okay, read a couple of pages, and I just started remembering that when I was in high school, like, okay, let me try this meditation stuff. I'm a Bruce Lee fan. They talking about ki and chi.
Yeah, Bruce Lee was deep into meditation.
Yeah, moving energy through your body. So I just started really like leaning into that. And honestly, that ended up being my therapy. I was dealing with some things, and I think a lot of men, Black men, and just men, period, and humans, period. I found out that I had childhood trauma that I hadn't dealt with. I found that out at age 40.
Oh, listen. The main topic of this show is true self-reflection. And I talk about that, understanding and seeing yourself through other people's eyes. And when I say I have learned so much about myself and now have an understanding why people used to say things to me that I didn't understand. Like, why do you see me that way? Because that's not who I am. I'm confused on why you think that that's who I am. Right. But when I sat back and I really took a look at myself,
take account.
I said, you know what? I can see it. Then I started asking myself, okay, but why am I like this? Where did this stem from? Like, and so I would trace it back to what I felt was the root of it. And you're absolutely right. There's a lot of things that are part of our personality that are deeply rooted in our childhood that we don't even think about.
Right.
And we don't even perceive it until we really stop. Because one of the things, when I say my entire family entire family used to tell me all the time, you think you better than us. My sister, brothers, my mama, my grandmama, everything, you think you better than us. And I'd be like, no. I'm like, where y'all getting this from? Like, I'm in the same situation that you in. I ain't got no more than what you got. So how are you perceiving that I feel like I'm better than you? But when I started my journey of self-reflection and I really dug deep on that one, it goes all the way back to when I was little. And when I was gifted, I was intelligent. People used to tell me all the time, you're better because you're smart. You're better because you're this. You're better. And so that subconsciously got into my head like, I'm better than you because I know I'm smart. I know people been telling me all my life I'm better. But not realizing that I was giving off that air to people of, I'm better than you. It never even clicked with me. But I had to really take accountability of it because I was confused on why people saw me that way, because that was not how I wanted people to see me. But then I really had to get an understanding. Subconsciously, I was given the air and not realizing that I was.
See, mine, I didn't get my aha moment until I was 45.
It comes late in life.
It was like, man. And so, like you said, I trace back, and I know a lot of stuff I do was stemming from that.
Yeah.
I need to go see a therapist more than I do now.
But here's the thing. Once you're aware of it, and that's what I say, once you're aware, now you have to make a decision. You can either continue to allow it to happen, or you can do something about it. Oh, being aware is the key. That is the major key.
And that's the biggest part of that program. It's designed for only two groups of men. Men that know that they need help.
Okay.
And men that don't think that they need help. Turn your ass around and help somebody that know that they need help.
Okay.
That's what it's for.
Okay.
So you either one of those categories, man. I know, even if you kind of, man.
I tell you what, some of them people who think they don't need help really do need help.
Yeah, this is true too. But you gonna find that out once you get amongst
other people.
You see what I'm saying? And start talking about the things that you hide.
Right. Yes.
You see what I'm
saying? We all hide, that's for sure. And men are more better at hiding how they feel and things that they're going through than women. We always emotionally express ourselves, but you guys feel like y'all have to hide it.
We don't hide. I think people don't see it fully. And I will say that we do hide some of it. But again, we have an asterisk. We have never been able to fully express ourselves and get a pass.
No, because society tells you that you're not supposed to.
Because we weren't, in America, we were never designed to be men. First of all, let's start there.
Right.
We were never designed to be fully grown, self-sufficient men here in the shores of the United States of America. That was never a part of the plan or the plight for us.
I can agree with that statement.
So, with that being said, a lot of things that are done on our behalf or to us is still that undertone. It's still that undertone.
Agree with that.
And now that we getting kind of into the woke phase of things, we're seeing how big the subconscious is and how much it actually plays a part.
Absolutely.
So now we look back, and now we even, and I'm not perfect. We still, but like we got words like homeboy, and we always call each other boy, like baby boy when it first came on, going to the crib. And you could look and be like, okay, that shit don't matter. But other coaches don't do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? No other coaches.
Let me say this. Both male and female, the Black culture has a way of, let me choose my words. We have a way of being, I'm going to say, disrespectful to ourselves, but then want to get upset when another race does it.
Yeah.
That is something I don't. And so there's certain words like you said, boy, nigga, bitch, those words that we we feel like, and we use as terms of endearment sometimes to people.
Yeah.
But other cultures don't talk to
And
each
it's a
other
reason.
that way
And it's a reason.
because we've been taught that that's.
But we get talk because now when we talk about it's a spell and everything that we speak is a spell. Now see they cut us down because everything voodoo. It's voodoo. No, everything that you say is a spell. Go to school, when you write it down on the paper, they call it spelling. You know what I mean? And we don't take that in full account because everything had to be such of a joke for us because of the pain that we go through, that we had to laugh through every damn thing. And to balance on, no, you got to be serious about certain things. Because the Jewish culture ain't gonna allow us to come on here, and especially if they got the money behind. We talking about some kite this, kite that. They ain't going for it.
But now I will agree that I'm trying not to get on my soapbox because men, this new modern male is different. Is very different, and I feel like the struggle now is for Black men is finding that balance because the traditional, what we used to see as the so-called alpha male, that traditional male is slowly dying and dwindling and going away.
Systematic. Don't think it's by
and what is emerging now is a different type of man.
It's confusion.
Very confused. And so I feel like programs such as this will help. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be allowed to express themselves because I know things have changed. The men's style, dressing, clothing, things have changed, and their perception of what is okay for them to wear and for them to say and to do has changed. But what I feel like is missing, I'm okay with culturally them seeing things differently, the way I dress, the way I move, but that traditional role of the man is lost.
I agree.
It's lost.
I agree. Now, don't get on your soapbox.
I'm trying not to get on my soapbox.
I'm going to say that man was created.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
And endorsed by the sisters.
Don't make me get on my soapbox.
That's why I said that.
Don't make me get on my soapbox. Don't make me get on my soapbox.
This is why I said that. Y'all always dictate what we wear. In the 90s, if you walked into the club with these pants that is going to show every quad muscle that you have, there's no female because we're not feeling that. That's for whatever reason, we're not feeling that. Wear it a little bit baggy. Still, we was more baggy. How we was doing. You have your lug boots and things like that.
How often do I say the change that needs to happen with the Black male starts with the Black female? We're raising them.
And that's what I'm saying.
We're raising them. You can't complain about what we're raising. And we are teaching. Okay, I'm not going to get on my soapbox.
And it's a hard, and now we're in a slippery slope because for whatever reason, we're not in the kid's life as much. So with the single mother, she will control, she will build up there the man that she wanted and not the gifts that the kid had.
Yep.
And what happens, she's raised, because I was one of them. I was raised off of resentment. Of my father.
Bitterness. Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And we got to realize that we are like DNA. And it don't matter. That part. We are DNA. So you have to allow us to know who our offspring is. And I understand now it's like, if you think this man toxic, if he's toxic, I'm just going to cut him off. You ain't going to never see him.
And then sit back and complain about it.
But the DNA is still going to run. The DNA is electric.
I'm not going to get on my
My dad was a hustler. He was a hustling type dude. And so my mother didn't want me around that atmosphere because I look just like him. They said, I have most of his mannerisms. So like, you're going to be a carbon copy of that. You're a football player. You can't do this. But it severed the relationship, but I became my father anyway.
Because she kept telling you that that's what you was gonna be.
And even beyond that, his DNA is already activated. Whatever he's doing is a potential of what I am going to be. My daughter.
But I'm gonna tell you, let me say this though, and I don't mean to cut you off because I see this quite often, and I think women don't realize it. But then when you are constantly beating that young man down to say you're going to be your father, you act like your father, you do this, like pushes him in that direction of becoming exactly what it is that you don't want him to become.
Yeah, because we did do it the same thing we did with the word nigga.
Yeah.
We hated it so much that, you know what, we're going to flip this and make it, okay, that's what because at first that's what I don't want to be, but if that's the only thing I can be, I'm going to make it the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
And so it's like that, okay, if I'm going to be a nice shit dude like that, and then you see it in the environment to where it's cool to have 4 or 5 females on the side, and it's cool when I'm young.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking, my son Juju, he's 8 years old, oh, you going to have all the ladies, plural.
I've heard
Instead
that
of saying, hey, you are going to have you a nice wife. You're going to have all the girls after you. And we're raised like that in high school. It's the same thing. And then we turn to grown men, and now we're supposed to be this whole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This whole situation.
Ooh, don't get me on my
And so these are the things that we're trying to untie with the Find the King program. Like first, getting solid. If Rick is a solid island, and I'm a solid island, we can come together and bring something together. That's why I start with the 5 investments first. That way, if you're a chef, like Mike Truitt chimed in, he's gonna help with us with some recipes. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to be the chef. I know what he can do.
Absolutely.
You're gonna be the chef. Okay, I'll do some training, I'll do some meditation and stuff. Hey brother, you're the lawyer. When it's your time to get the stage, let me sit in the fan. Let me be a fan. Instead of just waiting for you to hurry up and start talking so I can get back on it. No, I'm gonna sit in the stands as a fan
and
listen and ingest. You know what I mean? So it can make my life better. You know, now my kids are happier. Now when he clicks with another guy, it's like, okay, now we got something to celebrate.
Now, is there an age limit for your program?
This particular one right here, because it's dealing with men, is 18 and up.
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do, after we get solid, going to turn around and go into high school and the young kid. But it's the men that got to get it together first. How the boys can't get it together and move.
If they don't have a role model.
You see what I'm saying?
They don't have an example.
We got to get solid first. So it's about us grown men. If you can go to jail, then you can come to this program. Because it's a whole other ball game when you go to juvenile. When they get into, because now they hunting.
Okay, so tell people how can they get information on the program.
We'll just simply go. Right now, it's set up on Facebook. Again, this is a brand new program. So digital marketers, digital programming men, I need you chime in so we can get on different platforms and get it out to as many people as possible. Okay. But we got a closed off group in Facebook. Closed off because we're not being secret, but closed off so we can have a space to say what we got to say and not be judged. And
right, and everybody can see it. Yeah.
You know, stay away from the meme-aholics.
Yeah. I understand.
So, you know, we got a closed off group, and I want to start orchestrating events once a month for us to cultivate different things and express different skills. You know what I mean? Again, like we might have a chef to teach us how to cook. We might have a yoga, and let me throw this out. There's some females that are on board. So again, let me shout out the ladies, because I am a fond believer of nobody is free of if somebody's oppressed. Nobody's.
So, you know what? And I was sitting here thinking, you know what? If you ever want me to come and do my self-reflection program, that I'm getting started. I mean, I've been focusing on women empowerment, but it most definitely can translate to me.
And that's what I don't want. I want us men to be vulnerable and start breaking some of the stigmas that we subconsciously have.
Absolutely.
So, like learning from a female, learning how to cook. I want us to leave that event and learn how to listen to the female. So like, all right, we finna do something. You know damn well you don't know how to cook no bread. So bro, ain't no put your ego down. You don't know how to bake no damn bread.
Yeah, I tell
if you
people,
did,
one of
you
my
would have been like
favorite
this.
is, do you listen for understanding or do you listen to respond?
Right.
And most people listen to respond as
absolutely.
opposed to listening for understanding.
So that way is gonna make us listen, because we're gonna do something that majority you don't know how to do that. But we're learning. I learned how to dress, field dress, talking about getting the guts out. I learned that from 2 Nigerian women. Women taught me how to do that.
Okay. Well, again, us women, we are the seed, and we don't understand it. We have the power. We don't want to see it. We are raising these men. We truly dictate.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier.
And they oftentimes women don't see that, but we are the ones who truly do dictate. And men are trying to conform to what it is that women are now saying that they want. But we are so confused. Most women are so confused about what they want, which confuses the man about who he's supposed to be. Right. And if you were raised by a bitter, resentful mother, you really are confused about who you're supposed to be as a man out here and what a woman's role is in your life. Because your mama trying to be your girlfriend, you know, ain't no other woman good enough for you. Like, that's not your man. I see that so often. Oh, that's my little king. No, he ain't the head of the household. He ain't your king. He's your son, and you need to raise him as such.
Until he becomes a
king in his own kingdom.
You can't run around and call everything a king. And that's one thing. See, that's the subliminal speaking that I'm talking about. I mean, I appreciate the sisters when y'all, address and say king, but the king didn't run the damn kingdom. He was the face of it. It was the scientists. It was the geniuses.
It was all the people
doctors.
He had. Yeah.
That's who. When you come up in Egypt, Pharaoh didn't put no damn hand on the pyramid, but it's the pyramid you staring at. It's the engineer.
People. Yeah.
It's the engineer. Yeah. The king had the money and was able to schedule and blueprint out how it's gonna get done. But who you really want to revere is the builders.
The best leaders understand the people that they have.
And we forget that because we want that new bad bee or that, and she don't want no damn builder. She wants your damn beard to be crisp cut. She wants you gotta have something red on the bottom of your feet. And then when she get that guy and realize he can't change the tire.
Right.
That one.
You see what I'm saying?
That one.
That part.
Because I'm gonna be looking at you saying, what you mean?
You see what I'm saying? But that's how many people on Facebook talking about, man, I want one of them old school hard finger. I can change it. See, you see what I'm saying? So we scrolling. Yeah. And we got our job, we got our we kind of got ourselves together. Yeah. So like I'm looking at what type of queens. Okay, they want somebody to smell it. Okay. Because when we look at how to attract a female, the first thing is smell good and have some nice shoes. Because the first thing that a female looks at is how your hair is and how your shoes are.
Some of them.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Jim?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You see what I'm saying? It's enough to what us men know that.
Yeah.
So where I go to the club now, instead of showing me and showing that I'm a good person. I mean, my shoes might not be shiny or shit, but like if you sit down and have a conversation with me, I guarantee you'll like me.
Yeah.
But they don't want it because they're judging. Then my question is, see, now we're about to change something because it almost falls back into last week's show. It almost falls back into last week's show. And then I'm going to add another piece to it because I saw a reel this week of a guy talking about, and he made, I'm gonna do a side by side with that one. He stated, I don't want nothing that's for sale. He said, if you got a for sale sign on you, then I'm not interested. If you out here, he said, if you out here, you got your titties out, you got your ass out, you showing everything, you half naked, that to me says You are for sale. And if I got to work hard, you want me to go to work and I got to pay the bills and I got to do all of these things so that I'm basically purchasing what it is that you got for sale. I don't want you advertising that to everybody else. So you can't be out here half naked with your titties out and all of that. He said, I don't want nobody that walks around with a for sale sign.
Right.
And I feel like women, we miss that because you hear all the time the main people, and this is so funny, women are always talking about what men want. Oh, they want big booties, they want big boobs, they want this, they want that.
Right.
And then men are always talking about what women want. Oh, they want, gotta have money, you gotta have this, you gotta have that. But both are wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both are wrong.
And that's the problem.
Stop trying to
stop
tell
right
men.
there.
Women
That's
need
the
to
problem.
stop trying to tell men what they looking for, and men need to stop telling women what they looking for. Because oftentimes that is not true. That is
Absolutely.
not what they want.
Absolutely. So then bringing it back to the program, number one, get solid in yourself. Because I had to do that with me.
Yes.
Because I started to fall in love with love.
Yes.
Damn it, I'm 40 years old.
Yes.
I'm at this point in my life. I know I deserve this type of love, and I got a taste of it. And I was like, oh, this is so I started going on that path instead of finding more out about me. And again, like start loving me, like for real, for real. And when that happens, you're going to gravitate who's for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking as somebody that's on top of the mountain on this thing. This is somebody that's going through it right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? I had to back up and after the last, because my last relationship, shit. And if y'all don't think us men get our heart broken, that's a damn lie. Let me tell you that now.
Yes.
And we express it different.
Yes.
Because again, we're put in a box. And unless you are a black male or a female that has a son, I'm starting to realize that females that have sons tend to operate and they have a certain empathy. Some of them, not all. Some of them. I'm saying some.
Depends on their relationship with the dad.
I'm just going to say some.
Yeah.
Just some.
Yeah.
But I have talked to some females that actually get it, and majority of them is like, yeah, because I don't want this for my son. So they have to see it from the best eye view that they can. Because there are certain things, let me throw this disclaimer out first. I know that there are certain things in the female plankton I would never understand. Absolutely. And I'm content in that. I'm just going to sit back and support and listen for understanding the things I don't understand. Right. But a lot of those people don't really understand, and I don't even think we understand sometimes the level of the things that we go through. I told a sister the other day, I'm tired of seeing myself in the casket. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, I wear my head just like Twitch. I said, I'm about the same stature as George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Me and Cameron, we got the same profession.
You got to be, yeah.
And so now, as I'm getting older, because I'm having more empathy, because I grew up as, you ain't supposed to give a fuck. You Mardae, you football player, man. You know, it's not you, nigga. No, but the real me is coming out as I'm starting to shed that shit. I do care. And I realized, damn, when I was little, I cared. I was the bully slayer. I find out who the bully was in the class and go beat his ass up because I love the nerds. I love smart people.
Yeah.
I really do. And it's like, if you gonna mess with him because he makes straight A's, I'll punch you in the face. Because that's not right. That's against natural law.
Exactly.
That's against natural law. But now what we're getting into now, things we are not measuring up right and wrong with natural law. Things that are naturally correct. And what do I mean by that? Let's start off with society, the whole Trayvon Martin issue. We put cocaine on everything, but if we looked at the situation, there's a human being and another human being. This human being was so afraid that he shot this human being.
For no reason.
Is that right or wrong? we can easily decipher. Now let's put some baking soda in. The boy was black. He got arrested one time. But he didn't know it was Skittles. It could have been a gun. You see, when we start putting
they try to justify,
and we start,
and
you see what I'm saying? And another thing, we're so used and so desensitized to the black culture's pain that is entertainment. That's why we can't respond, because it's entertainment. From the time that we got home, right after church.
You know what? Speaking of, and we get that 55 minutes. I'm gonna step into that when you say entertainment.
Yeah, I mean it's entertainment.
Because this is one of my biggest pet peeves. I kept trying not to get on my soapbox. Mardae keep trying to bring it on it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one of my biggest pet peeves. As a people, we want society and other races to see us a particular way. However, what we display is not always how we want people to view us. If we out here on reality TV fighting and acting a fool and cheating and cussing each other out and all of this over the top, and then turn around and want to be like, but I want white people to respect me. Mm-hmm. You don't even respect yourself. Mm-hmm. When you start respecting yourself, then therefore you can demand respect from other people. Because until you respect yourself, if I see you don't respect you, well, how you expect me to respect you? Mm-hmm. Gotta get on out of here with that.
Yeah, we jump back and forth in that matrix.
And we think it's cute and it's entertainment. It's not cute. No. It is not entertaining.
It's entertaining for everybody else, but they think that they're laughing with us and not here.
No, they're laughing at you.
Please believe.
Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you that this is getting on us smarter women. And then I swear I'm not going to get on my soapbox. But when I tell you I get so tired of seeing booty shaking, half-naked ass women, you always, and it doesn't even matter what they talking about in the clip, in the video. You could be talking about something totally, you could be talking about hair. There's a half butt naked girl shaking her ass. Mm-hmm.
Guess who's liking it though? Guess who's doing most of the liking?
Who?
Other females.
Yeah. True. Because you know what? That is what other women are telling each other, that that's what y'all men want.
It's just getting at this point. I think
if you want attention, you gotta get on here and shake.
It's just the tension period. The tension is the new cocaine.
All attention ain't good attention.
That part, and I even have to check myself and being like, okay, what content are you putting out there? What you got on the ground? Like, all right, I go back every 30 days and look at my own stories and see where my mind was. What is the message? What am I kicking out?
Like you putting out?
You see what I'm saying? And most don't. It's like, okay, let me go bullshit.
But that's what's confusing to me. If you put out a sexual message, then the next thing you know, they want to turn around and complain because somebody then came to them sexually. But the message you put out was sexual.
I mean, what do
you out here shaking your ass?
Look, people claim that they use them social medias as entertainment. Listen, what you put out there is what's in your brain. I don't care. Exactly. I heard something. I dealt with even. I'll just say I know somebody like I posted that, but that don't necessarily mean that day directly.
Oh, I hear that all the time.
Yeah, right.
Just because I'm out here jumping around in the pool in my bikini top with my boobs.
Well, why you ain't got no post of Hitler? Why you ain't got Hitler in your stories? Because I don't resonate with that. Why you ain't got no pedophile? Why come you ain't like the button when it's a meme about a pedophile and pedophilia is okay? You ain't gonna hit that button because you don't resonate with it.
Yes, but sex sells.
Right.
But sex gets you more likes.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying.
And now you upset because every man that comes to you is not coming to you to wife you. Nah, he ain't trying to wife you. He's trying to hit it and move. Mm-hmm. Because you throwing it out there like, okay, anybody can have it. Now you upset because you brought him in and he done hit it and then he don't want,
And vice versa. Us guys do it too. And now with the new paradigm, us guys do it too. We got a version of that.
Let me tell you something.
We got a version of it too. We do
Me
it too.
myself, I've seen them.
Yeah, we all seen it.
I don't even like it when the men are doing it. It turns me off. I don't want to see you out here with your shirt off. You trying to do a belly roll or do it. That is a turn off to me. Take your ass somewhere and sit it down.
But see, if it's enough likes, they'll keep on doing it.
They're going to keep on doing it.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's funny. You see what I'm saying?
It.
But then you don't want a man that's like that, but when somebody's doing it and it's funny, you're going to hit the like button. So it's confusing to us.
I'm just saying, a man out there shaking his hips and trying to be
even not even that.
sexy dancing is a turn off.
And we have another version of that too, like where you can't take a picture unless your beard is just like because it's like that. Like you gotta look like you have a lot of money or success, or if you gotta look like you can go and take somebody on a vacation.
Yeah.
Now,
and I agree with you. But the funny thing about that is, and I can only speak for myself on that. That is a major turnoff to me. If I go on a man's page or whatever, and in your profile, if I see your car, you posing next to the car, even pictures. Random pictures, vacation things, your house. You should. Those type of things say to me, you trying to draw. You trying to let me know I don't need your money. That's not interest. That's a turn off to me. But I get it because a lot of women are drawn to that, and that's what they're looking for.
And here's the thing: a lot of women by themselves, in their true selves, think the same way.
Yes.
It's when you with the girl clique and it's all 7, and the brother that approaches you, and he might not have, designers, all kinds of designer shit, but he gonna come to you. Look, I'm a good dude. Like right now, I'm working. I don't have a car. One of the friends, when I call them the linebackers, oh girl, he ain't got no car. Leave him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the story is, you don't understand. He has 2 jobs and he's willing to work and walk to both of them, and he's on time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They don't look at the potential. They don't look
and he's doing that to take care of a child, right? And then you'll mess around and see him 5 years later, and you'll mess around and see him on TV. This one man that spent 3 years walking.
And then you want to holler.
You see what I'm saying?
Be like, no, you didn't want me when I was walking.
Hey.
And that is, I'm going to tell you, that's one thing I always say. For me, and I can only speak for me, doesn't matter to me how much money he makes. It doesn't matter to me what he's doing. The only thing that matters to me is, can you take care of yourself? Are you financially stable that you can take care of yourself? Because right now, I ain't looking for you to take care of me. Mm-hmm. Can you take care of yourself? Right. And if you can take care of yourself, okay, you stable, I'm stable. Mm-hmm. We can see what we can build. Mm-hmm. We got a foundation. Mm-hmm. But if you ain't stable,
you can't do nothing.
We can't do nothing. We ain't got nothing to build on.
And I agree with that. And again, I think honestly, in the depth of the heart, I think most of our sisters think like that. It's when you get around the damn clique. Because now when you get the new boyfriend and he pulls up, all the female friends,
Toyota?
Yeah, they gonna look at his shoes. They looking at his hair.
Girl, his shoes run over.
Right. But you ain't understand that he's willing to drive 2 hours to see her. And that goes busted up Toyota.
Yeah.
And went and picked her up some flowers from his own damn garden.
Yeah.
He ain't go to no store.
Yeah.
See, dudes like that is our style now because you can't put them in a reel. But they're real.
Yeah.
But you can't put them in a reel.
Yeah, because you can't,
because they're too real. Mm-hmm. Their hands are dirty. Why? Because he's been changing tires all damn day.
I like them.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But you see what I'm saying? But most women do, but it's the wave of their influence. I can't get no likes with
influence is the key.
Yeah.
Influence is the key. Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes it surprises me, because when I'm going to go back to what women think men want. I've been in a position where I have been approached by men that I think, I couldn't be his type. Mm-hmm. Like, I know he probably looking for something totally different. why is it? But that's my own mindset of me thinking judging him based on who he is, what he is, what he likes, and what he's gonna want, which causes me to miss out because I done made a whole judgment on this man. Because if he wasn't interested, he wouldn't approach.
That's right.
And I've done that a couple of times. I've been like, no, hey, what you coming over here for? Because I know you probably like, such and such and such and such.
Yeah.
But I had to stop doing that because then this is what us women do. And I had to realize this about myself because I used to say all the time, men don't approach me. They don't approach me. Oh, no. No, they approach you.
Yeah,
you just keep dismissing them for whatever reason that you choose to dismiss. And so they like, well, damn, she just keep dismissing. I could just move on because I made the decision. I'm not what you looking for. But you came to me. So how can you not be what I'm looking for? I chose you. And so I had to learn, stop doing that. And I tell women who do that, and they be like, well, why is he looking at me? I don't know why he would choose me. He look at him. Well, why would I be? Girl, because you were his choice.
Right.
That's what he liked. Right. Stop trying to tell that man what he want. What he want is you. You gonna force him off on somebody else because you too busy trying to say, no, ain't no way you can like me. But you were his choice. Right. He wasn't looking for the big booty with the eyelashes and the hair. He was looking for you. And then those women with the big booties and the hourglass, and then they looking sideways like, well, why he with her? Right. Which makes it even worse for her because then she feel like, well, they looking at me sideways, and then they want to come up and talk to him, and now I'm insecure because I felt like I shouldn't have had him in the first place. Right. And now he's trying to say, no, baby, but I'm with you because I want to be with you. But beauty queen over here coming to talk to you. And I know you're looking at her. Yeah.
And it happens on both. And let me say, it happens both ways.
Yes, it does.
Men too.
Yes.
Why are you over there with my?
Yes.
So if you watch it, it does happen.
It happens both ways. Because I'm gonna be honest, I have had it happen to me. I have had it happen to me, and he'd be like, "Well, you sure you like me?" Niggas, like, I don't know what. Like we still talking. Like if I wasn't interested, we would not be having this conversation. Like I'm confused. But what I cannot do is build your ego up every day. No, that you can't put that on me. Right. I can't handle that.
I can build your spirit up every day.
And I
not your damn ego.
Women do not realize that they want men to build their ego up every day, and that is unfair to expect him to do so.
I've experienced that to the point where that person had to be reassured so much. But when it was time, when I would have friends that was dying, I'd be like, yo, I need you to pull up. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about a blatant no show. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? And we just do that. I call them wounds and weapons. And that was one thing I want us to learn in the Ponder King program. When we get wounded, the way that we got wounded in our childhood, I got bullied by my mom. So that made me the anti-bully. Because I couldn't hit my mom. But
so
it resonates with me. I got to kill it. Because I can't do it back home.
I got that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was my wound and the weapon, because it was a lot of times physical. Mm-hmm. I took that weapon and put it on other people. Why? Because I know it worked when the weapon was put on me.
Yeah.
So we use the weapons that we know that work.
We're taught, yes.
You know what I mean? And what happens, we do that in our personalities, whether it's giving the cold treatment, you ghost somebody or you talk ill to somebody. That was a weapon that worked on you. Yes. That's why you use
So I'm going to turn it back
on somebody else.
Absolutely.
Because I'm wounded. And of course, just like a battle, shit, you cut me with a damn sword. It's wartime.
And I think the problem is a lot of people miss that they're going through that battle and that they're putting issues that has nothing else, that has absolutely nothing to do with somebody else onto that person. Mm-hmm. And I actually had this conversation recently.
I might step out, y'all.
Okay, well, go on and step out. Oh man, go on, oh man. We're over an hour too.
And my back started messing
But
up.
oh man,
Yeah.
but yeah, I actually had this conversation with someone, and I expressed to them that oftentimes we as men and women, we do this. We have a perspective of the opposite sex, and based on that perspective, excuse me, we're quick to dismiss how the person is feeling because based on my perspective and my experience, I know something different. So I can't take. Oh, excuse me. I can't take you at your word.
Yeah.
Because what you're telling me is different from what I have experienced. And I had to tell them, like, I feel like when I'm trying to express to you how I feel, you're quick to dismiss that or overlook it because that's not your experience and that's not your perspective. But just because it's not your experience, perspective doesn't mean that my perspective is wrong.
It's invalid. That's something that I had to prove in the last relationship. That's a piece of the accountability pie that I got.
Yes, you have to validate other people's feelings.
Yeah, I didn't express that enough.
Yeah.
In my thinking, I did do that. But hearing how it was projected and when it reached the person that I love, it did not hit the same. And I'm now having to be like, okay, Dave, in your perspective, you did.
Right.
Okay. All right, so cool. Take yourself off the cross. All right,
yes.
Don't crucify yourself. Now, but if you want to love her, you need to push a little bit more or do it a little bit different.
You have to understand, and that's where people lose is that, and I say this so often, what you think that you are projecting to someone else is not always how they are perceiving it. And when they perceive it differently, you have to be open to understanding why that person perceived you that way. And when you're not open to that understanding, that's where the conflict comes in.
Yeah, I wrote that train.
Yes, you have to be, and it's not easy. It is not easy being open to someone else's perspective. When you think because I say it all the time, I think I'm coming out one way, but people perceive me a whole nother way. And then I'm looking at them sideways like, what are you talking about?
I get it all the time, though.
Same here.
People think just because I don't talk much to them that I don't like them. I'm like, I don't know you.
And see, and people think because I talk all the time that I'm controlling and I always want to be in charge. That is the number one thing that men think about me. They think she don't want no man to lead her. She ain't gonna let you lead. She want to be in charge. She want to tell you what to do. She want to do it. And when I tell you, I say, how many times do I say it? Shit.
See?
I'm ready for somebody. You think I don't want come in and take care of me? Hell.
Right. And the only way that you're gonna even get to that and find that inner person, you ain't gonna find that KO at the damn club.
No, I'm not.
You gotta sit down like this, and you gotta walk in the damn park and find out what makes them tick.
Resonates with me, and you are absolutely right. And I say this all the time. If women want to complain, you go to the club and you meet a man, and now the first thing you want to complain about is him going to the club. Girl, you met him at the club.
That part. Or we go to the movies. There was somebody, and we went to a date, and we went to the movies. And after the movie, like, well, we didn't talk much.
How are you talking the movie? It was a movie. And that is the reason why let me tell you, first dates, you cannot take me to a movie on the first date. I absolutely refuse because we cannot conversate and get to know one another at the movies because there's no talking. I'm I'm the type, first day, you ain't even got to spend it. We can go to the park. We can go for
Yeah.
a walk.
Oh,
We can do, you want to say, let's meet at Starbucks. We can have a coffee. All of those things are fine with me. I am not the type that you got to spend money on me on a first date.
Mhm.
I want to get to know you,
Right.
who you are. But I get it because a lot of people think, and I'm going to say a lot of women think, if you're not willing to spend money on me, you don't want to take me out, you don't want to do these things, then that means really what you're looking for is sex. Girl, he could take you out on this and spend $200 on you on a date, and his mindset is, all I'm looking for. But I got the money. I can blow $200 on it as long as I'm gonna get what I want in the end. So that expensive date does not dictate how that man feels about you. And people need. Ooh, y'all done got me on the soapbox.
Get out my soapbox. But that's what I'm gonna make, because along with Ponder Kings, I'm coming up with Meta Tribe. Spinning off of with Trump, the MAGA, Make America Great Again. So it's Meta, Make Energy Thrive Again.
Okay.
And that is the cohesion. There's going to be a male and female group. All right.
You let me know, because I'm willing to join in on that.
So just like I'm unorthodox, this is when my unorthodox side comes out. This is when we bring the men and the women instead of battles of the sexes. It's the polarity of male and female. Right. So you're gonna come in there, a male might come in there with his wife, she's gonna be paired with another man. And you're gonna be paired with another female.
They don't.
And what's gonna happen is you're gonna do I'll spill one of them. It's a crossword puzzle. And the male and the female gotta work on the crossword puzzle together. And they can't say nothing.
And see now that
you can't say a word. And then we're going to do a round table and see what it feels like to have to communicate without using your words to somebody you just now met 5 minutes ago.
Communication is the key.
And it's a male and female dynamic. Is the key. And I got some saw games too. That's going to be messy.
But we over an hour. We been sitting here. You know what? It happens all the time when we have good conversations. Right. We get to talking about stuff. I tell you, Rick will tell you, I try my best not to get on my soapbox. But sometimes I get on the soapbox and I will go. I'll never forget that day I did a show and I started off on my soapbox.
Oh, Lord.
And I didn't even realize I went 20 minutes straight just going off about what I was talking about.
You can't have no talk show.
Yeah, and then they was like, woo.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there just like,
and Rick was like, do you realize you been like,
I didn't want to jump in. I was like,
better know the whole phone. Just sit there and go along for the ride, Rick.
Listen, one of the things that I always try to do, I always try to stay open to the other person's perspective. I'm going to give you my perspective. I'm going to even throw out perspectives I may not even agree with, but I just want to throw out there to see how you feel about it. And sometimes though, I get on the road when it's really something that gets to me, because I don't always think the way your average female thinks.
I agree with that.
And sometimes most women find me a little harsh. They think that I'm anti-woman, but it's not that I'm anti-female. Is that I see that if we want to make a change, ladies, it starts with us. We have the control. We're raising these men. The influence comes from us because we are what? Mother.
Absolutely.
We are mother.
Absolutely.
So we give and we infuse that power. We infuse the thinking, the logic, what they see as right and wrong. It starts with us. And sometimes I can be a little harsh. I can admit it. I can be a little harsh on the females because, like, baby, no.
But that's when you see both sides, though. That's what happens when you're doing it unbiased.
Yes, I see both sides, and I be like, come on,
unbiased, it's like that. And because us men get confused, right? Because we hear the divine feminine. We hear and we see y'all sisters healing. And then we hear guys are female. Okay, so where the hell is the compassion in? because my brother just got choked out on TV. Where is the women's? If God is a female, then the females that I know will have compassion for that.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So we can't go back and forth.
Yes.
If you're a divine female, then I am going to make these men be, child changing and can look like something and clean up.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Because I'm gonna tell you, with my grandson, boy, we pull up the gas. Boy, if you don't get your ass out this car and go pump this gas, like me as you better get on out here.
My mother told me to get in the car.
Gas.
My mother told me I got it. Get back in the car.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
And that ended up the female that Karma, who I ended up marrying, when we was in college, we would sit in the car for hours.
Waiting on who's gonna pump the gas.
No. We would just talk because I would ask. I said, because I would be like, well, why is that so important? Because my mom told me not to do it. She was raised in what I would call a Huxtable situation.
Right.
Two parents, and she always thought, her dad was always, the dad would open the doors for everybody. My mom.
That's what I do.
I wasn't raised that way because I was raised in a single parent household only with my mother. So I didn't have that positive, like my grandfather was my positive male role model. And so I really gravitate toward him. But at the same time, even when I married though, my ex-husband was that type. Okay. If we pull up to the gas station, he gonna get out and go pump the gas. Like I never worried about those things because he had this in his mind. He had this expectation, even though he as well was raised by his mother. Yeah. His mother set an example of this is what men are supposed to do.
And see, that's what I wanted to be, because I would see other men that I would look up. They would go pump the gas. So when my mom pulled up at the gas station, that's what men do. And she'd say, get back in the car. Now I'm confused. So now I'm internalizing. I'm like, okay, well, I guess, because she'd say something like, I got perfect health. I can pump my own gas. And that's what I internalized. So when I'm talking to Karma at that time, I'm like, but that don't really show that I love you just because I grab your, because I open your car door. It doesn't.
It doesn't show love.
But now that I'm getting older, it shows compassion. It shows care. It shows that I am assertive.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You respect me as the feminine.
Right. And that's what I had as a boy. It got severed.
Yes.
When I did it got severed. So now
Eric,
I turned into something else.
They don't realize. Eric says women nowadays are raising their boys to guys that they don't like. I agree. That's what we were talking about. Yes. Because I ain't gonna jump on my soapbox. I'm not gonna jump on the soapbox.
But it's confusing
because I keep saying I've got to do that show on the modern woman, and I want to have a group of women to come and do that show because we don't understand it. We miss that, and we are the ones who set the example, especially if it's a single parent household. We set that. Excuse me. We set that example for that man, especially if we're doing, as you said earlier, and we have severed that tie to his father. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves, ladies. You slept with him. You created this child. Don't cut him off from being in the child's life. Because here's my thing. If he ain't no good, let that baby see it. Yeah. Let that baby make their own decision. Let that baby learn from the fact. And I know it hurts. It hurts every time that child is disappointed when the dad does not show up and do. But however, that child is living in reality. As opposed to you creating a scenario that is not the true scenario. Let him live, or him or she live in that truth. Because I can tell you he ain't no good all day long. And then the child gonna be like, no, that's my daddy. I want my daddy. I want my daddy. Let the child see. Stop making excuses for the daddy. Let the child see that daddy ain't no good. Stop dogging the daddy in front of the child. You ain't got to dog him because if he ain't good and he ain't no good, the child gonna see it. Children know more than what people give them credit for knowing. They see and they understand. Because let me tell you something. The one thing I am, and I talk about this all the time, you never hear me talk ill about my ex. The one thing, I had 3 girls. When I say every last single one of them is daddy's girl, they think they daddy hung the fucking moon. Even to the point where they want their daddy. They make sure that the men in their lives has a relationship with their father, so that therefore that he can be an influence on them. That is how much that they love and respect their father. And I have to say, he sets an amazing example of what a man should do and should take care of in the household and how he should be. I can't even be like, well, no, we divorced. No, your dad. I can't even say that.
Yeah.
I can't.
But see, the new paradigm. See, now we're all certified therapists since we all learned the word narcissist. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so sick of
and I ain't going to get right.
Everybody is a narcissist.
Right. So now it's like we have become our own therapists. It's like, no, I don't want him to see the father because that's not serving my higher, whatever.
It's not serving my needs. I
whatever.
want him to be feeling,
but
yeah.
It's a double standard, right?
I agree.
Because if it's a mother, there's a mother that disrespects the child, wasn't there, didn't provide. Well, she just did the best she could with what she had. But let the man.
It's a different story.
You see what I'm saying? He ain't shit.
Story.
That nigga been looking for a job for the last 3 years. Hear what you said. He's been looking for a job.
It's a different story.
He's doing the best that he can. What he got?
Let me tell you, I have found, and we're gonna get off of here. We keep talking. I have found one of my guilty pleasures. I'm gonna say I have to call it a guilty pleasure. For some reason, I have got hooked on during the day watching paternity court, couples court. You know, all of them. I be sitting there watching them little shows.
Okay, do it.
And paternity court is one of my favorites. When I say that these women come on with the most unrealistic goals, thought processes, like I am confused. And one I saw today, and then we're gonna get off here. I'm gonna have to say that one I saw today. The girl came on, and I felt, oh my God, I felt so sorry for him. The little girl was one. He wanted it to be his daughter. He wanted with all his heart for that little girl to be his. And he kept saying, whether she mine or not, I am daddy. Like, that's my child. Blah, blah, blah. She cheating. You slept with him Saturday. You slept with so-and-so Monday. And she thought it was cute. But when I say the judge was like, baby, that ain't. When I say she checked her, I was like, ooh, I love it. Then come to find out, the guy that she was cheating with. And so the judge asked her, she was like, so this other guy that may be a possibility that he may be daddy, where he at? Why he wasn't at the hospital? Why he wasn't there when you were, going through all of these different things? Did you reach? And she was like, well, I reached out to him, but he didn't want to be involved. She said, so why you over? Well, he wanted to. Oh man. So because he was willing, and this other guy who you wanted didn't want to be bothered, you gonna go over here to the one who was willing. And so the guy kept on saying that you cheated. Like, I was in the delivery room, I was there for the C-section, I was there for all of it, for everything. And when I say it ended up not being his child, the heartbreak on his face when it ended up not being his, but she thought it was cute. Yeah, that's what I did.
And
that's what I did.
That's why because our pain is entertainment.
That's that, yeah. And like, she was like, "Oh, but he wanted. I told you what it was. I told you what." That's not cute.
And so now he's embarrassed on national TV.
That's not cute.
He ain't. Who is he gonna talk to?
Was devastated.
Right. And after that show, where does he go to?
Right.
Where does he go?
Right. He
don't
has
bring
no
it up
outlet.
In the barbershop.
That's devastation. You got this kid that you have learned to love, and you developed a bond, but you have a doubt in your mind whether or not this is your child. And then you go to court to find out that no, after everything that you've done, this ain't even your child, and she think it's funny.
It happens every day. It happens every day.
I can't get on board. I can't get on board with that. And that's why sometimes I can admit it, I am a little hard on the black woman. I can 100% admit it. I am a little hard. And I know I've been accused of being a masculine female. I've been accused of all of these different things. I get it. I understand why they view me that way. But I'm sorry. Yeah. Wrong is wrong and right is right. And sometimes these things that us as black women that we are doing to our black men is blatantly wrong. And we got to stop. And it's not going to change until we stop. And the change starts with us.
Yeah. We got to surround the problem, man. We have to give grace. We gonna mess up, ladies. I'm gonna tell you that.
We mess up.
And that's why I'm saying on both, it gotta be grace. Just because somebody did something wrong, they ain't gaslighting. They ain't no damn narcissist. They made a mistake. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes there are different, depends on what the mistake was, but like everything isn't warranted a cut off. We have to learn how to set boundaries. Yeah, okay.
We don't know how to do it. It is what I want, but it's what I want. It's my way or no way.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. I say we live in a mean reality.
Yes.
Now. And I was even saying, I was talking to Steph over Rivergate Nutrition, and I was just like, okay, what if God took all these memes that we like, and that's how it judged us getting into heaven. All this stuff, you ain't serving my highest good. You ain't what the hell have you done for God, lady? You ain't serving. None of us done served it.
It's not even serving ourselves.
Right. Properly. So like now, but it's easy to hit that like button and be like, yeah, that's the yeah. He lied
somebody
to you.
Saying something? Yeah.
You know what I mean? He lied. He knew what the hell he was doing. They lied. They cheated. Go on, sis. There's 100 women that. But no. But see, we need that old elder, that woman with the, and that's kind of how I see you, with the corn pipe that's gonna all say no chaser and hear that story. Yeah, he does. Do you love the man?
See, now that's
now.
Me.
Can you work?
I want to get down to the
that part.
Okay, so help me understand. You keep saying, and this is my favorite. You keep saying he a cheater. He keeps cheating on me. Here's my question. If he keeps cheating, and you know he's a cheater, help me to understand why you stay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's an understanding I need to have. It's so easy to blame him for how you feel, but you have to understand when a man has cheated multiple times, you made a conscious choice to stay in the situation. Mm-hmm. So how you mad at him? Because all he doing is what you expect him to do. Because you know that that's who he is. Now the real question is, why do you choose to stay? What is it that you're looking for that he's satisfying that makes you choose to stay? Because let me tell you, I'm not gonna stay and be unhappy.
No.
If I got to be unhappy and I got to chase you down, if I got to figure out where you are, I got to put GPS location. I'm calling everybody to see where you are. You ain't answering my phone calls. Baby, we can't be together.
And I feel that because I was that. Yeah, I was that guy. I had a female that I truly, and I still say I love to this day, and I cheated multiple times. It was never a why. It was always that you cheated. I was like, but this person would. I'm talking about never show up. Never. I'm talking about never blatantly. And then there's other people that can see, and it's like, well, shit, I wasn't on my. You know what I mean? And
you allowed it to happen.
And it's not a blame, but it's not a okay. Let's sit and figure out how this happened. And I'm talking about I got chewed out about it. The plot thickens. She was married. Oh, whoa, that part. But that was.
But how she be married and worried about what you doing? Okay, that's a whole other show.
No,
that's
a whole other show. But that's what I'm saying, though. It's easy for us to bang the gavel.
It is.
But we forget that we might need some grace too. You see what I'm saying? It's easy to. That's what I'm saying with the memes.
I'm gonna tell you 100%. I'll tell you in a minute. I'm be honest. The failure of my marriage is on me. It had nothing to do with him. I can honestly say, were there things that we didn't see eye to eye, but I didn't communicate. The failure of my marriage, 80-90%, it's on me. Mm-hmm. I can be honest about that. I 100% see who I was in that marriage and how much that I gave. And matter of fact, someone had posted a conversation, a question that said, what is it that you could have done? You know, looking back, if you had, what is it that you could have done differently in your last relationship? And my answer was, love him the way he loved me. Right. And had I loved him the way he loved me, we probably would have made it past those 23. I mean, we made it 23. We probably would have still been together to this day had I loved him the way he loved me. Did I love him? Absolutely. But I can 100% tell you I did not love him the way that he loved me. And the failure of my relationship was all on me. I can own that 100%.
That's wisdom.
100% on that. But y'all, we had an hour and 30. We're going to get out of here. Happy Father's Day. Yes. Make sure y'all check out Pawns to Kings. I like that. Pawns to King. Mardae Weaver. What platforms are you on?
I'm on Instagram. You can follow me at Soular Fit TV. SOULAR TV. So you spell it solar like your soul. All right.
Okay.
Don't spell it regular. We don't do regular. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me at Mardae Weaver. All right. It just closed off, but you can find Soular Fitness. Go on Soular Fitness. That's the public page. And as well, all you fellas, if you want to go, or ladies, if you know a male that needs to join the program, it's Pond letter 2. I mean the number 2, not letter 2 King. Pond 2 King is singular, and we'll put them in the group. Again, we're doing self-evaluations. We'll have monthly events. We are going to corral and make a nucleus of ranges of service, so we can start supporting each other first.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start supporting each other. We're gonna be a safe space to where we can have that barbershop talk, fellas. We can, we're gonna have some cigar pull-ups. That's kind of
so crazy.
So that's why we had to do that 18 and up, because some of these events we're gonna have, I don't want to contradict and have 14-year-olds. Yeah. And we up there, we're gonna have
our things that they should not be even listening to.
So we're gonna have grown-up talk. We'll chime in. We're gonna have grown-up talk. Bring your issues. You hear everybody else, leave your issues and your attitude at the door, man. Bring all that.
Bring them.
Bring your issues. Don't come faking and frauding, man. We're gonna be doing some journaling in there. And it's up to you. We're accountability. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing to heal myself. I'm not gonna make you do a damn thing out there. I'm just gonna show you if you personally going through some stuff to where you can tag in and come along for the ride.
You let me know if you would like my participation and my self-reflection program, because it goes for either male or female, because it really is about personal growth.
And I want you for some of the meta events too, where the men and the females, because the only way we've been doing, hell, I did one with Stephanie and Rivergate Nutrition the other day, and we do a lot of podcasts, we do a lot of talking about what we need to do. And we need to, the Underground Railroad.
Stop happening. Stop talking and make it happen.
That part. Mm-hmm. Having events. Like, it's good and it's great that we having these talks.
But we've
been doing this for a while now. It's time to bring it into action, actually start building together, doing some stuff to where we start seeing each other in another light. You know what I'm saying? I hang out and I go camp out with you and I find out who you are.
Absolutely.
The next sister that I see that looks like you, the next sister that I approach, I still got the residue of you, and I'm not looking at her as no bad bitch or nothing like that. It's like, okay, well, okay, there's some females that's out here with that whole sister soldier vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if she don't. She might be sitting there booty, but the way that I perceive her based off of my
interaction with me. Yeah.
And that's what I want in these collective opportunities. I don't want another me. I don't want another brother. I don't want another Kels. I don't want another Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell to go, because I done been there.
Yes.
A lot of hell, I was talking to my homeboy. I'm talking about my partner since 5th grade. He just told me today that he was this damn close from jumping off a bridge.
You never know what someone else has been through until you have that conversation.
That's my homie.
You know what? And we are definitely gonna get off of here, but I will tell you that I've been down that road myself, and people don't see that when they look at me. They don't even understand. But I definitely have a background behind that story. And I told it on my first. The first seminar I did on true self-reflection was with someone who had lost a child. And I talked about my experience with losing my son and where it took me mentally. And only by the grace of God, only by the grace of God am I still here today, because I had a plan. Mm-hmm. I had a plan, and because my plan did not fall through, because my kids was supposed to go somewhere else, and I wasn't able to get, because God said, no, I'm gonna leave these babies right here, because I know as long as these babies are right here, you're not gonna do what you got in your mind.
You know what stopped him? Same crime.
Yeah.
One voicemail.
Yeah. And people, you don't realize what other people have been through and the struggles that they have had until you sit down and you talk to them. And when people look at me, they don't think that would ever be something. Like, for real, you had that thought? Like, you don't even seem like that, your personality doesn't. But you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what struggles that I have overcome. And I will tell you, as a mother, the loss of a child, no matter what age, is one of the biggest struggles to overcome. Because as a parent, we always feel like we're supposed to go before our children.
Yeah.
And when you lose a child, whoo, that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox again. But Richard, hey Richard, I'm gonna have to have Richard. That's, you know what, I love me some Richard Brown. I'm gonna have to bring Richard back on the show. Richard just came in and commented. He's like, KO, I see y'all got my brother on here tonight. Yes, he on here tonight. But y'all, we're gonna get off of here because I can keep talking. Y'all know I love to talk. That's what I do. I am a talker. That's why me and Rick get along. Because Rick, every once in a while, he throw out. But most of the time, I'm always talking.
Sometimes I have to cut off because
I'm
like, okay, oh man, God, yeah.
He be telling me at the end of the show, he be like, "Where you was on something."
Hey, you can't have two people going.
No, you know what? Rick and I think Rick and I, That's another conversation. We're gonna get off of here because we're
Yeah.
gonna start going again.
That
Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all.
Happy Father's Day out there.
Happy Father's Day on Sunday to all the fathers. I hope you all have an amazing Sunday. You know what? Well, I ain't got nobody. I'm gonna wish him a happy Father's Day. I always wish him a happy Father's Day, but I don't have to do nothing. I got nobody to do Father's Day for.
Yeah.
Go find somebody random.
You know what?
That's just
That's a good
Why
idea.
not?
Sunday, I will be out looking for random fathers to gift. I don't know what I'm gonna give, but I'm gonna be somewhere. Y'all will see me. I'm gonna be somewhere, and I'm gonna gift a lucky father. But we're gonna get off of here tonight, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Find the Kings. Join it.
Yes, Pond
Make
to
the best
King.
move.
Check it out.